Welcome to the Dude Network, where we chill and unwind. Food, sports, entertainment, the best of its kind. Grab your buddies, have a seat, let's have a good time. 4 nights a week, we'll make sure you feel just fine. Join us as we dive into the coolest trends. Dude Network, where the fun never ends. Dude Network, where the fun never ends. Hanging out with the dudes and dudettes. Talking about the things we love, no regrets. Tune in, relax, and let the good vibe flow. The Dude Network, the place to go.
What is up, everybody? God, that doesn't get old. Let's get into it. Garage beer, big night, end of the hard work week. We found a beer stein. Thanks, Pops. He gave it to me to probably hang on the shelf. Probably didn't mean for me to use it as a podcast prop tonight, but away we go. As always, garage beer. Love everybody for joining us here tonight. As we said, it's been another work week. It's come, it's gone. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5ers. We put in another good one. We earned that hard day's pay, but we're ready to kick off this weekend as we always do. And boy, oh boy, do we have an absolute heater lined up for you here tonight, as we have the one, the only Chef Art Smith joining us here at about 10 minutes or so here. He's already in the back room. We've already talked to him. He's handsome. He's ready to rock and roll. We're ready to do this thing with him. But I'm never a one-man band. Let's get into it here with our one of three. I'm only one of this three amigo band. First, out of the California, our COO, Garage Beer. Our Californian that's been born again, the Sursterman slurping, tower climbing, pepper year-round growing. When it's too hot, getting in the pool swimming, turning goose breast into filet mignon. The man, the myth, the absolute legend, Johnzy. Boo, 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 boo. Sorry. How we doing, sir? Garage Beer. Let's go.
Absolutely
Man.
fantastic. Hey, real
I
quick,
love to hear that.
day 4,873 of wearing this till Nombre is found.
The countdown's on. 7 days till Nombre reappears. We miss you, Nombre. We're had to have you back next Friday for the fantasy football draft with me, Johnzy, and our third member of this party tonight, straight out of the 843, the three-time people's champion of putting beans in chili and delicious smoke-fried wings, the miner of Carolina Gold, the innovator of the downtown funky brown sauce, the heart of Florence, South Carolina, Damon Kite.
What's up, fellas?
What's
What's
up,
up?
dude?
Hey,
Is my
man.
audio extremely loud, by the way? I
No.
feel like it is rattling in my ears. Anyway, I just don't want to be.
Keep talking. I'll
Sound
fix it,
good.
man.
All right. But anyway, boys, how we doing? How are we
Well, geez,
doing?
It's finally Friday. I'm free.
That's a big old mug you got. I'm gonna just say that.
Dude,
For the
You guys ever heard of
weekend.
Hoffer House?
I mean, is that like a gallon of, or is that a liter?
This is
is
what
that
you
a
get at
liter of cola?
Oktoberfest, dude. This is what you get at Oktoberfest. This is Hoffer House out of Newport, Kentucky, but actually our fellow, a lot of people.
Well, we know what
favorite
Pops was
president,
doing 1 October.
Yeah.
JFK, was banned from the Hoffer House because he got the original in Frankfurt, Germany, because he tried to steal one of the steins, and that is a no-no. Even if you are a president, banned. You heard it here first. Cool story. It's actually on the menu. JFK is banned from Hoffa House. Well, he was, Anyway, and we move. Yeah, let's do a roll check here for all our dudes and dudettes tuning in here tonight. Eduardo, Terry.
I already got you, bro. Already one song
Hey,
in.
I like that people love the singing. I love the singing. Hey, Ham, what up?
And that's all for right now.
All right, man. Let's do this. I'm really excited about this one here tonight. Another introduction from fellow dude friend of show, Anthony Martorina. So he has really introduced us to what is becoming one of the most intriguing food scenes that we've come across in all our foodie talk here. That is the great windy city of Chicago. Illinois,
Chicago.
where it seems like anything that you freaking want at like the highest level is available.
Is there,
So
right.
we're bringing in someone tonight that is at that level in multiple areas, but has transitioned and brought that to Chicago because everybody else seems to be doing it. So why not this guy? So T, always happy to see that dude in the chat. What's up, man?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, Chef Art Smith, he is. I mean, I don't know if you guys looked at the menu, but soul food on steroids, and then those steroids had more steroids injected
And then
into them.
had right.
Yeah. And can we talk
like
about
triple-
the prices? I thought
triple
the
times
prices were fair. I thought the prices were actually really good for like a food of that menu, like of that caliber at that price. Like I was
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
take my money, thank you. I was
Right.
like, yeah, dinner doesn't sound. I don't feel like I have to cook it after all. Actually, I know. I gotta hope he shares like some secrets to this fried chicken because
Nah.
I have questions.
T man, bro. That
Yeah,
thing-
you can't ask him that.
You
Dude.
can't
Oh,
do
yes,
that.
you can. He has the right to say no.
No.
But if you don't
Oh,
put
he's
people
gonna
on
say
the
no.
spot, listen, guys.
I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you probably one ingredient, and I can pull it right off the bat before it even comes in. That's in this
All
fried
right,
chicken.
want to say it on 3? I think I know what you're gonna say. Okay, on the count of 3, we blurt it out.
I
Ready?
mean, yeah, we messed that up last time we done it, but go ahead.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, then say it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Buttermilk.
Chicken.
Jesus,
Love.
Damon, way to go! You had one job.
Love.
I think I went pretty
Love.
clearly over the
Okay.
instructions.
Okay,
Love.
that's why you paused. That's why
Exactly.
you paused. You show off.
What? What did I do?
No,
Nothing.
Damon.
Talking to me.
Oh,
The biggest
I don't know.
component of his food is love. I bet you that's it.
Oh. Well, I love buttermilk.
Please tell me you don't drink straight buttermilk.
You don't?
Oh my god.
No, straight up though, there is a milk up here that's got a cream top on it that you have to pour the milk through. You have to like take out the cream top of it. It's called like Buckeye Creamery, and it's a local farm that they leave the cream. It has a cream top on it to show you it's like from officially their farm.
Dude, the more raw milk you get, the better it is. So
Yeah,
No doubt about that. No.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I mean it's like $8 a gallon, but some people that's justifiable.
Well,
Unless you find it with the orange sticker at Mako.
Oh, you're. Here you go, them stickers that make hope.
every time.
Every time. Especially in dairy. That shit's expensive. Facts. Dairy is like, that's even like up here where, there's dairy farms. Like I live in dairy country. So
Oh,
cheese is
dude,
like,
me
cheese is
too,
like,
bro. There's nothing.
yeah,
but
I feel so bad for what people have to pay for good cheese outside of cheese, like cheese country. I mean, I hear what like Damon. I see what cheese that you guys have to go like with the old Sargento and stuff. Like you guys don't have a cheese house in miles. do you?
No. We just use straight Velveeta around here.
we have Hillmar cheese. It's like the top 20. I don't know. It's huge.
Yeah, California. You probably got some good cheese in California. Oh, here we, Damon.
it's wine- it's
I
wine
teed him up
country.
there, brother. I teed him
It's
up.
wine
Here we go.
country.
Yeah, it's true.
Dude, we
You
have
guys
such
have,
a
you
huge
guys do
wine
have
country
underrated
culture.
agriculture.
Yeah,
Underrated
horribly so.
agriculture. And your cows are happier out there. Your signs even say it.
You know,
I can't say you heard it here first because that's
I
common
didn't say
law,
it.
man. That's like in the no cheese in Dodge City. Oh, he
Coach,
just moved there. That's so
put me in,
sad.
coach. Put me in.
Hey, Pearl Valley delivers. Pearl Valley delivers. Oh man. So yeah, we got a lot of questions for this tonight here. What are you guys hoping to ask before we get him on here? What are we hoping to ask?
What do you
Chef
mean? I'm
Art
not asking
Smith?
like, nah. What are you talking
Nah.
about?
You can't do
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I'm not giving away my
Like
secrets.
All right, be that way.
Well, I don't want to ask the question. He can hear us.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there something you want to like hope we get like we learn about it?
Yeah, apparently the recipe to the fried chicken.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
we're going for that. I don't know, man. I saw shrimp and grits, and I've never tried to conquer it. It scares me. I feel like everybody. Okay, Damon, you're a Southerner.
Come to the south, you
Grits.
be all
Does
right.
everybody have a different way of doing them, or is there a
Absolutely.
standard?
Absolutely.
Negative, bro. That's like your mother's chicken soup or bread
Yeah,
or
but
cookie
that's
recipe.
the problem is though. Once you find one, you stick with it. But the thing is there's so many different ways and varieties of doing it. I mean, that's how I do it. Key component: good grits.
What state provides the best grits? Where do grits come from? What plant do grits come from?
Corn.
These are questions not for us.
Well, he's a Southerner. I thought this stuff was again common law. All right, let's just get to it. No, I didn't know. I seriously didn't know. Is it from corn?
Yes.
Find out. Is it? Hey, what's up? Yeah, my cousin Vinny. Yeah, he was all about the grits. We'll find out. But hey guys, cheers. Cheers to a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Water day.
Cheers.
Yep.
Water day. Man, y'all left me hanging? Jeez.
Hydrate. Gotta hydrate.
I got to work tomorrow.
That's why I'm drinking garage beer.
Have fun.
Always.
With spirit.
Always when I got my boys with me. Always. But hey, let's get down here to it. I'm really, like I said, really excited for this. The innovator of fried chicken probably invented it. If he didn't invent it, he perfected it.
I was gonna say, yep.
Yep. From the creator, the head chef, executive chef of Chef R. Smith's Reunion restaurant in Chicago. Also on Bravo's Master Top Chef. I think I said that wrong. But dude, this guy just got it. I don't know, man. I'm blowing this intro. Can we do it over? You guys want to do it? Nope. All right.
I mean, really and truthfully, a man of his caliber don't need a huge intro.
No,
Right.
no. A man that shouldn't even probably be on this podcast, and my introduction verified that, and he is now regretting every bit of this life choice. Executive chef and way cooler dude than all of us, who has cooked for some of the craziest people in this world, doing some of the craziest dishes, the heart of Southern soul food himself, Chef Art Smith. Chef, how we doing?
We're great. Thank you very, very much. And yes, grits do come from corn.
Let's go.
And
I had no idea.
And
I
the
didn't-
best, yeah, and the best grits are artisan or coarse ground grits. None of that Aunt Jemima stuff. But because as a child, we were very like middle class Southern people, but we were very much into our Southern food, and so my father would always eat coarse ground grits, and as kids, so I was accustomed to them, and
Right.
but you have to soak them overnight, and then you cook them, and different people have different ways of cooking them. Some people cook them with water and milk and everything, but the grits that I have used forever from my very beginnings as a chef in Tallahassee, Florida, is Bradley General Store. And that's what we used at Walt Disney World, at Disney Springs, at Homecoming. And they're coarse ground, white grits. It's interesting, white grits and yellow grits, to me, they all taste the same, but some people have that idea. And so, but they are what polenta is to the Italians, they are to Southern folks, and polenta also
That's
is
the
corn.
perfect way of putting it.
Yeah.
That's actually, yeah, I like that.
And polenta is corn also. It's just
Right.
a different ground differently.
Right.
And there is coarse polenta also, and but they are truly a staple. I mean, and you sometimes, I find it, it's hard to seem to find them, yet you find them more than often now than you ever have. And I was listening to Damon make comments about shrimp and grits, and shrimp and grits have been around a long time. There was a very famous guy who lived in a place called Chapel Hill, and he had a restaurant called Crook's Corner, and he Bill Neal, and he is the one that pretty much put shrimp and grits into the forefront in terms of made it put it in kind of the more well regarded restaurants. But shrimp and grits have always been a part of coastal southern food
Mhm.
forever, up and down
Makes sense.
the coastal region of Florida, and even into the rural parts of the where I live in, what they would consider the Piedmont. They it's very common that grits would accompany not only eggs and stuff for breakfast, but always came with fish.
Yep.
And it would be catfish, or it'd be mullet or some kind of fish. But and then when you got close to the coast, then it was usually eaten with fish, or even and when you get up towards Charleston, it would be eaten with shrimp. And the way they do it is entirely different. Basically, like the ones we do at Homecoming were developed here in my Chicago restaurant, and we do almost like a Creole kind of a sauce, and it's just a style we've always done, and people like it. But it's not traditional. The traditional one
Mhm.
is you fry bacon, and then you put garlic and onion, and then you saute them, the shrimp in that. And it's not uncommon that they also throw mushrooms in it. I don't know where that came from,
Oh, no.
because mushrooms are not historically that, but anyway, and some people put a little andouille sausage in it, or some kind of a sausage or something. But everyone makes them differently, and like Damon said, when you find one that you like, you stick to it.
Yeah,
No,
I've even taken it, chef, and with like after you fry your bacon, put like a little bit of flour and almost kind of like make a little roux and everything.
Yeah, I like it
Yep.
like that too. The
Yeah.
roux, you make like a gravy,
That's right.
and that's very common. I mean, is to do
Mhm.
like a gravy, almost like a same kind of a gravy, like a white gravy,
Mhm.
and sometimes we call it a sawmill gravy, which is a
That's right.
white gravy,
Yes, sir.
or a sausage gravy,
Yeah,
Mhm.
tomato gravy. And believe it or not, in Tennessee they eat chocolate gravy on biscuits.
yeah,
Um,
actually,
I
that
would
big
be
state,
about
she's
that.
blowing up. Grandma's granny, Mama's cooking or whatever on TikTok. Have you guys seen her?
oh yeah, she's a
She's
trip.
like this grandma that they're putting. She did chocolate pudding, and she showed how to do like 3 ingredient biscuits, man, and they were fluffy. It was awesome. But yeah, she did chocolate pudding. I had never heard of chocolate pudding sauce or chocolate sauce, chocolate
Yeah,
gravy. Yeah, chocolate
yeah.
gravy. Never
Well,
heard of that until 2 weeks ago. So it's funny you're bringing
and
that up.
and there's like a fine art to making gravy, a fine art. And
Oh
there's
yes, yeah,
there's
Absolutely.
good
We're
gravy and the bad gravy.
yep.
affirmative.
And
I'm in biscuits and gravy world. We do sausage gravy up here all the time. That's our thing.
and it and one thing that you find in really proper great southern food is particularly the seasoning of it. It's always about the foundation. This is what separates it from the rest of it. It's that you have something called the Holy Trinity. And the Holy Trinity is something, it would be garlic, onions, tomato, celery, and peppers. And then they put a little tomato, and that's where you see that a lot in New Orleans. And where I'm from, it's usually done. You find more or less a little onion, and then then more towards the holidays, you'll people throw celery in it and stuff like that. They're very simple. Like where I'm from, we don't add spice to food. We allow you to add it. It's always as a condiment. And but that's how it's always been. That's why I'm always like, it's taken a while for me to really kind of warm up to this hot chicken thing because it never was a part of what I grew up with. And the thing about it is, it's like I remember when I've been now working now with Top Chef, the shows now for, oh my God, I think since
Years
about
ago.
2005 or six. The first one I ever did was Top Chef Chicago, and then I did Top Chef Washington, and then I did Top Chef. I did All Stars in the Bahamas, and then I did Top Chef Kentucky, and recently did Wisconsin. I'm sure I missed a few in there, and but they always love to, there's things that I say and they kind of stick with it. But I always say that, I always say that, my mama didn't teach me how to fry chicken. The Colonel did. My first job, my first job was working at KFC. And,
Wow.
and when, in the days I
Back
worked
when
there, it was
KFC
called,
was delicious.
Right.
yes. And then when I worked there, it was called Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was not called KFC. That was all new. And the Colonel was still alive. But, everything you do in life and it's like I always say, whatever you do, wherever you go, you take a little bit back with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
And,
Right.
and probably for me, I'm jumping around now to fried chicken is what I've tried to do is I've tried to stay authentic to who I am. And I specifically I'll be honest with you, I wasn't like this when I started cooking. It took me a little bit to get there because when I first started out, I was a college student and I was kind of really into food and stuff. I was more into baking, and I had to go work at the Greenbrier, and then I worked for the Disney Company and the College Pro.
Well,
And it wasn't
Greenbrier.
until I took care of the governor of Florida where I had a really great mentor, and she just said to me, she said, Art, she said, this is not a hotel, this is not a restaurant, this is a home, and we make home food. And it really, really kind of catapulted me into really taking that wonderful wisdom. Her name was Nella Schomburger. She was married to a FSU football star, Ron Schomburger, that played with Burt Reynolds years and years ago. And I mean, and
Check
I
out.
learned about a proper biscuit, you know.
Bingo.
And what was interesting, and in those days was the food they considered just to be kind of everyday food was like beautiful fresh oysters from Apalachicola, Gulf shrimp, wild, blue crab claws,
Oh yeah.
fried mullet, fried oysters, all this great food now, which is considered, it's pretty fancy. But
Right. Right.
so and really good country ham biscuits, and I'm really well done. I want to tell you something. When chicken salad is made properly, it's the bomb. And really, really great pimento cheese. Okay, pimento cheese is the pate of the South. Okay,
That's right.
and
We're speaking Damon's language right
That's
now.
right.
We actually
Yeah,
got some pimento
but-
up there in the fridge.
but one of the things I try to do is that, to me, if that food was good enough to serve in the governor's house, it was good enough to serve in the White House. And if it was good enough to serve in the White House, which I've done it, it's good enough to serve in the palace, which I've done it. I've served Southern food around the world.
Heck yeah.
And a lot of people don't know about it and know like much about it. And I always, am able to, kind of educate them. And what it's done is, I'm not French, so I'm not going to cook French food. I'm not Italian, I'm not going to cook Italian food. I am Southern, so I'm going to cook Southern American food. That's who I
Right.
am. And
There
that's
you go.
important about staying authentic. And what you do is you focus on what you know, you stay in your lane. And one thing I learned from the great people where I've worked for Disney now 40 years, is that it's the same damn ride. You just theme it differently. I mean, it's you take Tower of Terror and then poof, you turn it into the Garden of Galaxy.
I feel like we just got like a massive pep talk right there, and I'm ready to run through a wall.
and
I'm ready.
you take
Dropping nuggets of wisdom, folks.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's just you just take the same old shit and you re-theme it. You know what I mean?
I love it. Hell yeah.
But So what I have done is, and what I was talking about Top Chef was, I always said, my mama didn't teach me how to fry chicken. The Colonel did, and that kind of blew it up across the country. And really seriously, my mother didn't make fried chicken. She can't do it. And always people want to know, oh, your mother must have made the best fried chicken. I said, my mother did not make fried chicken. She baked cakes. She baked really great cakes. And so, but there was a lady that raised me that made amazing fried chicken, and everybody makes it differently.
Right.
But what catapulted fried chicken for me in terms of where it became, like my calling card was, most every dish that you probably read about of what I've made, it has been used as probably a star to, it's been a star to some other big star. Okay. So fried chicken was chosen. Oprah chose it for her 50th birthday. And when she decided to have it for her 50th birthday, all of Hollywood was there. And so all of Hollywood was eating fried chicken. So that blew it up across the place and everything. And that's why, it's really interesting. I've served it to every star, and then every 5 years I serve all the heads of state. Every head of state in the world has a chef, and they always have this big event. And I always do a big fried chicken party. And this year I added barbecue. They didn't know what barbecue was, and in fact,
They
I'm
are
getting
welcome.
ready to, I'm getting ready to have King Charles as chef visit me. He's been with the Royals for 35 years, and he loves my fried chicken, and he really, I don't think he'd ever had barbecue until we served it to him. But anyway, I
Amazing. What a
I
blessing
just
that
it
is.
just and again too, it's just food that that for us who grew up with it, we're something we're all very familiar with. But again, regardless of your culture and who you are, we all have something to share, and our food is a great way of sharing. It's most, if you want
Right.
something, you feed people. And I am a big believer, if you want people to stay, you keep feeding them. You feed them a lot, and then you change their minds about stuff. Food is diplomacy, food is love, food, does a lot of amazing stuff. Ain't no angry people, just hungry people. And there's a lot of hungry damn people in the world.
This is
But
true.
Hey,
you-
we can all get on board with that one.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and I think that like I've tried really hard to really use fried chicken and some of my other things like, like the shrimp and grits. I wrote my first book that won a lot of awards, and the James Beard Award. It's called Back to the Table, blah blah blah. And the book, I there's a wonderful author who was a New Yorker that moved down to Florida and lived in the swamps, and her name was Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings. And she wrote a famous book called The Yearling. I don't know if you're familiar. You remember the movie The Yearling?
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
sounds.
think I remember watching it, but I remember
Right.
the yearling.
Yeah, I think Gregory Peck was in it or something like. It was a great movie. Anyway, she wrote a book called Cross Creek Cookery, and Cross Creek is right outside of Gainesville, Florida, where University of Florida is, and
Yeah.
it's a very rural, swampy part of Florida. But at the time, it was also a lot of orange groves and things of that sort. But she would write about food that she made, and then she would associate the dish like, or like she had a cow, and she would say her cow was named Dora, and she would say Dora's milk was have a lot of cream, so she made butter and she made ice cream, blah blah blah. And so she told really great stories about these dishes. Well, I took that idea and wrote a book like that, and then of course I won the James Beard. And then what happened was, getting to the shrimp and grits was, I was introduced to Governor Jeb Bush, and he liked my food and everything like that. And I, of course, I had been there, several years back, and took care of Bob Graham when he was governor. But he introduced me to his parents, the late President George and Mrs. Barbara Bush, and they were big. Yep, and they were big on literacy. and they would invite famous authors to come and speak from their books. And they invited me for this cookbook, and I thought, like, a cookbook, you're going to invite me to speak?
Right.
And I was really like freaking out because I had to speak in front of him. Can you imagine speaking in front of a former U.S. president? And so, anyway, I told him, I said, y'all, I said, you know, because I'm very,
actually.
I said, I'm so grateful. I said, let me cook for y'all. Okay. So I would cook for all of them before the big event. And that went on for 20 years. But the first dish I did for them was shrimp and grits. And then that's how that catapulted it. And then, you know, and then it was served to everybody. You know what I mean? So there's every dish, whether you're at homecoming, whether you're reunion, whether you're at Blue Door, and then there's, you know, the dishes have transferred to all these different places. I have you know, I've taken fried chicken to different places now. I don't know if y'all heard, not, you know, about 8 months ago, I bought a rugby team.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were
We
going to
did
get to that because I was going to let you slide on that one. I was very
we were
fascinated on
definitely
that
getting
world.
to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the reason why I did that, I want to tell you why. Okay,
I was
there ain't-
actually curious as to why.
there is nothing worse than a tired old chef, stale at that too. And I'm 64 years old. I said I refuse to be tired and old and stale. And I said I need something to kind of, you know, to make myself sexy. And so I you know, again, my old boss is pretty smart, and she gave me some really good advice. And she said, Art, she said, it ain't about, this is Oprah Winfrey. So I said, it ain't about being new, it's about doing it better. Okay.
Mm.
And so anyway, um so what happened was I'm a big Googler, and I watched the everything, and I saw where Leo Messi, the big soccer star,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
he walked into Publix and got a fried chicken tender pub sub. I don't know if you've ever had their pub subs.
Mm-mm.
No.
I haven't
Well,
been
you
to
know,
a Publix since
Publix
I
is
lived in
an-
Myrtle Beach.
Publix is an institution. And anyway, they it blew up. And every creature around here. Hush.
It's all right. Hey, we're used to it. It's all
Okay.
good.
Yeah. We all
And,
got dogs
Bone.
too.
You want some shrimp and grits?
Yeah. But anyway, so he ate this sandwich and it went viral. And so Chicago is of many, many, many neighborhoods, and there are a lot. Whatever you want to eat, it's here. You just have to know where to find it. There's the traditional stuff. That you've heard about. There's, if you want to eat in 5-star fancy restaurants, we have that. But if you want to just eat really great hole in the walls, we have a lot of those and really amazing food. So anyway, I was out and about in the neighborhood, and after hearing about Leo Messi and how it went viral, I was Googling this area, and I found out through Googling that Chicago had its first pro rugby team. And I said, that's interesting. So I called him up. I Instagrammed him, and then I called him up. I said, Chef Art wants to make y'all a fried chicken sandwich. And they said, well, okay. And they said, let's meet. And I said, I want you to do me something. I said, send me a uniform. And so they sent me a uniform, and then I took the uniform, and I found my own Argentinian rugby player, Lucas Kessler, who helped me to lose like 100 pounds during the COVID, and he got stuck with me in Jasper, and but damn, he can make some great. Those Argentinians, they know all about grilling, and they love beef.
Carne
Yeah.
asada.
Yeah, asada. It's really delicious. So anyway, I took that uniform, put it on him, and made the biggest chicken sandwich and put it on top of the rugby ball and photographed it. And I went to the meeting. I said, see, this is what you want. You want it to be sexy. You want to do the whole thing. And it sold the deal. And so not only do we, have ownership of the team, but I'm also the primary sponsor, and I'm on the front of the jersey, which is cool.
Let's go.
And
Yeah, we got it. We actually got it pulled up here, Chef. Damon will get it.
Oh
pulled up
well,
here.
we did. I'll get it back.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
The Chicago Hounds, is that what they're
yeah,
called?
the Chicago Hounds, yeah, and we made it
Oh,
into
yeah.
the playoffs, which is really cool. And they're the nicest guys. It's really cool. They like kill themselves on the fields. They don't have any kind of protection. But on the third, they call it third hour. They all sit down and they eat
There they
together,
are.
which I think is really super nice. I mean, they look like the nicest, most sweetest guys. But I want to tell you something. You don't want to get in front of them when you're on a rugby field down and beat
Negative.
the hell out of you.
Negative.
Hey,
But,
Chef, I have a quick question here.
What?
A possible rebranding idea next season, of course. I want you to hear me out. It's got a ring to it, all right? The
Yeah,
Chicago Dudes.
Chicago dudes. I like
Some
that.
dudes out there that's beating the hell out of people. That's a dude out there. See that dude? I mean, that's a dude. Like where I'm from,
Yeah.
a dude is a guy. I mean,
Yeah, a dude. Yeah. But I will tell you.
Just
But I
think
will tell you
about it.
something.
Just think about it. Just think
I'll
about
tell
it.
you, the girls won the Olympics, the dudettes. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We
Let's
got
go!
them too. This is home for
I'm
dudes and
telling you,
dudettes, brother.
Those,
Got 'em
and
both.
those women rugby player, you don't want to get in front of them either. Boy, they'll knock the hell
she's
out of you
a-
too.
Man, I forget her name,
Negative.
but she is hilarious. But she is a badass out there on the.
I'm telling
field,
you,
man.
they are badasses. And and I feed them a lot, and then they'll show up and they got like their arm in a sling, and they got this and that and their head. I'm going like, what the hell happened? I said, well, man, from the game, I'm like, and they're so used to the sport, to them that's just all part of the life of being a rugby player.
Right.
But so anyway, so we got into that, and fried chicken bought a rugby team and did all kinds of stuff. And then what happened was about I guess it was probably it's amazing. It's probably been about 12 years. No. Let's say 5 or 6 years ago. 12 years, 15 years ago, I met Lady Gaga backstage at the Oprah show, and I had lost a ton of weight. And my favorite song
Was
was
it the Bad Romance?
Yeah, and I love that song. And I said I have to cook for her, and that was my thing too. I would always watch who was going to show up on the show and figure out how I could plant some of my food in the green room. And so it was like that was my calling card. So anyway, she ran out of her dressing room. Oh, this was probably around 2009 or 10, now about 2009 or 10. And she ran out of the dressing room. She says, I can't believe Top Chef, Master Chef Art Smith cooked for me. And I'm thinking, well, I can't believe Lady Gaga is the hell I am.
Yeah,
So
right.
we became friends.
Keep the composure.
They're very Sicilian. She introduced me to her parents. We did a restaurant in New York together called Joanne's. And then about a few years after that, her father said, Art, he said, what about doing some fried chicken? We could, and I said, okay. So we opened this little fried chicken place, which was doing okay. But what happened was I was looking at my Instagram and I saw this message and I'm like, oop, and I showed it to him. I said, who's that? He said, I don't know. Why don't you answer him? Well, I answered him, and they showed up, and it was Live Nation.
Oh wow.
What?
And so what happened was the little chicken shack it turned into the multi chicken shacks that would. So now we have
that did.
we have 51 locations.
Wow.
It's called Artbird.
Let's go.
And so what I did was I said, okay, I remember what Oprah Winfrey said. Okay, all right, if it works, you just make it better. You know what I mean? You don't have to be. And so I took the same idea. I said Artbird had a baby, and the baby was named Sporty Bird. And so Sporty Bird became the sports themed fried chicken.
Heck yeah.
And now I'm working on Sporty Varsity. What is that? Fried chicken for universities. The first one we're doing is Fairfield University in Fairfield, Connecticut.
I wonder why you had that Fairfield Nike swoosh on there. Nice.
Yeah, and then I my little shirt here, and
Yeah, I saw that.
and then we're delivering a lot of it with robotic delivery. Like, that you think these kids are all from, they're pretty fancy kids. And I said, one thing that's really hot that I know, one thing these kids will not get up in the morning for, they all have they all have like a school credit card, which they put everything on, their parents pay for, you know what I mean? And I said,
Oh,
one
yeah.
thing that I know that they'll order, one of the hottest things in Chicago is breakfast sandwiches.
Huh.
Real big. And there's a
Wow.
place called Kasama, Kasama, and this place people wait in line. It's like a line to Jesus. I mean, it is like forever. And it's like this kind of soft sweet bread, kind of like Hawaiian roll situation, and then it's got like hash browns in it, and it's got like this linguiça Spanish sausage and the egg. And those kids, they eat the hell out of it. And
I would too. I mean, probably not just kids.
And I told the college university, they said we like this whole robotic. I said, yeah, I like it too. But I said, let's make it special. And they said, what do you mean by that? I said, let's make it so that the sandwiches are only can be gotten from the robotic delivery, because the kids, they ain't gonna get out of bed to eat breakfast. They'll order it, because I know my kids, they could eat Uber Eats every day. But so that's one of the things we're gonna do. But we'll probably do like a fried chicken breakfast sandwich, that kind of thing, and all the stuff like. So we're working on that. And I met these really young guys, and it's really interesting. There's a lot going on in, the whole Disney situation. Homecoming is truly amazing. And just to answer your question about the fried chicken, you can go online and Google my name, and the recipe comes up.
There you go, Tony.
It is.
And what makes it unique is that it's brined.
Yep.
And that's why it tastes good. And that's what the Colonel does.
Okay.
He learned it from the Colonel, folks.
Okay. And but do you know that Homecoming, you know how many pounds of chicken we sell a year?
Hang on. Let me do math here.
You're not going to believe it when I tell you.
680,000.
No.
Yeah,
more.
that's
more.
725,000.
180 tons.
That's 3.6. God, 180 tons. That's 180 times. How many is a ton? 2,000?
Yeah.
So 360?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And in Live Nation, we sell
1,000 pounds of chicken a day
at one restaurant.
Yeah, but
at one place.
And then at Live Nation, we sell in a season. That season is probably what June through October, or November, whatever. We sell 160,000 pounds.
That's
a lot
so
of
much
chicken.
yard bird.
That's a lot of birds. That's a lot of birds. It's
that's
really
a lot
funny.
of yard chicken.
We in my Florida house, we have lots of chickens, but we don't eat them. It's a chicken sanctuary.
Hey, Chef, we actually have a surprise for you.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, quick commercial break. And we come back, we're going to have our gift to you here for joining us here tonight. So we'll be right back after this commercial break. Stay tuned here, folks. This is going to be a good one.
Thank you.
Commercial break.
Once was a cat with a hungry belly. The name of the cat was Whiskers Jelly. His throat was dry and his bowl was bare. Meow, me fairy cats meow. Soon may the
Big casserole's up there.
Bro, you call me basic. Green bean casserole is the most. Dude.
It said it's up there, but it's not.
That's right there with a Starbucks drink in his hand.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, dude. It's not even traditional.
Starbucks people are above a green bean casserole, because if done right.
No, negative. That's what all those the moms who drive the white SUVs with bleach blonde hair getting their Starbucks in the morning. That's what they're bringing to the Friendsgiving.
Well, you know what?
Green bean casserole.
It's clearly an Ohio thing, because also green bean casserole.
Then we found out that, like, shit, we probably played football against each other once, and we didn't go to schools that were very big. I graduated. What was your graduating class original? Mine was 88. Do you remember?
What?
I graduated 88 kids.
Oh, I thought you said you graduated in 88.
No, it looks like it though. Jesus Christ. Not bad, huh?
My boss has a haircut like that, and we call it a cul-de-sac.
Just like your house that you're stuck in.
That was great, man. Thank you. You do have a luscious bald face, by the way.
It is, you know.
Yeah. Give a little shine up there and do it again.
Oh man, I wish I would have used more
man.
product in my younger year like you did. I can tell you that much.
Well, hey, man, by the way, cheers.
Hey, cheers, cheers, cheers. Happy weekend to you. What's up, dudes and dudettes? Have you heard? MST Sauce Company has the new Dipped in Gold. MST is out of Tiffin, Ohio, home of the Tiffin University Dragons, and this is a collaboration with them. That's why it's the Golden Glaze Sauce. As you can see, I've already dipped into this stuff. Absolutely freaking phenomenal. It's got a little spice. It's a perfect glaze for some wings. Nice little topper for some fried chicken, some fried pork, or just really good on a salad. Look at the consistency in that there. Definitely dude approved. Go check them out at mstsaucecompany.com. Thanks for them for being a part of the Dude Network family. Back to the show. All right.
That cul-de-sac.
Sorry,
yeah,
I was
dude.
taking a big old swig and it went all
I
up
was
in my
dying
face.
when I saw the cul-de-sac, dude.
Mm.
So we are joined
Yeah. Yep, we sure did. You
And-
did?
by just one of the Chef Art Smith in Chicago, definitely running the Chicago area here. And we said we had a surprise for him. And we got a surprise for all our listeners here too, because it's been a minute. I felt since we're going to have him here, and Chef Art Smith's food level is like up here, and we're like here.
Hey,
So
now,
we figure we bring
speak for
someone in to
yourself.
help. Well,
Keep
okay, I can speak. We're going to bring it
Yeah,
back up.
I'm way down here.
Keep going. I'm
No,
down low.
no. We're up here. Anyway, a man that's mic is muted, and hopefully he figures that out before he comes on the show. I sent him a message and did not get that, but a esteemed food critic, a judge at the World Food Championships, the reigning social media man of the year of the great state of Chicago, Anthony Martorino. Hey!
Hey, Anthony.
Hello, Chef. Oh, Chef, it's so good to see you. They've been asking me for 6 weeks when they told me you were going to be on the show to come and surprise you. So, surprise.
Surprise. How are you, Anthony? Where are you?
Good. I am at our house up in Wisconsin. Notice the palm tree in the back. It's not as cool as the dudes.
I see some Christmas lights. I'm trying to figure that out.
See, it's
a
our
palm tree.
Christmas. It's our Christmas palm tree. So
Your Christmas. I was about to say, Christmas in August.
You guys are graced with one of the most amazing chefs in the world.
We're aware.
Chef Art Smith is, but he's more than just a chef. The man gives with his heart. Like, he literally goes out of his way, and he will help anybody because he is such a caring person. And I don't know if people ever see that side of him. I'm sure a lot of people do, but Art, I just want to tell you, I think you're one of the most amazing people. I'm glad we've become friends over the last 2 years, and I really cherish our time together.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anthony. It's great to have you.
All right.
Man.
Now,
Oh,
now,
wow.
when I dialed in at 8:45, I heard Art talking about Sicilians. I'm like, oh, he's talking about me. But then I realized he was not talking about me. Did you guys talk? Did you guys talk to Art? Did you guys talk to Art about like, he owns a rugby team? He's the only chef that owns a professional
we were
team.
just talking
we
about
gotta
that.
do that,
Chicago
for sure.
House. And he sealed the deal with Fried Chicken, and Fried
Chicken.
Chicken got him a professional rugby team. And we're all about the fried chicken here on the Dude Network, guys.
Yeah.
Know that.
It's go ahead.
I wanted to share one story. So when Art Smith showed up on the red carpet at the Beard Awards, I'm there interviewing people. He showed up like they had hounds with him. The rugby guys were in custom suits. Like it was a showstopper. He brought Hollywood to Chicago for the Beard Awards, and it was a showstopper. It was amazing, and Art just does everything with such great flair and such personality and style. I you know, like he really brought it, and like Chef, you're genius.
Well, thank you. Well, you know, Anthony, you live life once, and my feeling is that I do believe that there's a tremendous food and sports is there's definitely something there, and it's something that it's not going to go away. And sports in this country is bigger and bigger in the food, and I mean, look at what happened at the Olympics, and look how the athletes were complaining about the food. And I kept thinking, like, if I was there cooking for them, they wouldn't be complaining. But that they managed to find a chocolate muffin that they liked. But and they were in the world food capital, and they couldn't eat it. You know what I mean? So this country, Chicago not only is the food capital, but it's a sports capital here in America. I mean, we got 2 professional baseball teams, we've got the football team, and we've got the soccer team, the rugby team. We got a women's soccer team. I don't know what I've left out. We've got a lot. And basketball, yeah, that's a big one. We have a lot going on. And it was even, and I was like, the other night I was at the DNC, and they had all these people from all over the world, and I was thinking, like, I was looking at the concessions. Anthony, did you go?
I did not. I escaped to Wisconsin. I had to get away.
Well, Anthony, I have to tell you, I had a private driver and everything, and it still was a shit show. Okay, but anyway, it was just. But anyway, it was so crowded, and I love Chicago hot dogs. Okay, I love them, but basically that's all they had was they had hot dogs, and they looked. I kept thinking, like, here, this is the DNC. You've got this massive amount of people. They're from all over the world and the country and stuff. I think being the food capital we are, we could have done a little better. You know what I mean? I wanted to see, they could have done like really great from our pizza to hot dogs to our Italian beef, and it just to me, it's like, it would be a time for us to really kind of show what we have in those situations. And I mean, you went to RJ Smokeout, and the Chicago Smokeout, which is actually a pretty Windy City Smokeout, which is actually pretty big event. I mean, I've never said, and you were there, weren't you? Didn't you go to that? Yeah.
I was hanging out backstage with you. We were.
Yeah, there was, I think, out of 40.
And
go ahead.
I was going to say is one of the amazing things at the Windy City Smokeout, they bring in all of these great barbecue people from all around the nation, but then they also tap into our local talent. And Art was doing his chicken, but I'm going to tell you right now, he was doing chicken fingers. He's brilliant. The line probably had like 200 teenage girls waiting for these fantastic chicken fingers.
It was
the best news. It was amazing. But here's the best news. My daughter, who's 17, we just went backstage and we talked to Art, and Art made fresh ones for my daughter. And my daughter adores you too and your whole team. And she was just in seventh heaven from Art with these fresh.
I'd probably adore someone too that made me fresh banging chicken.
Yeah, it was really funny. We were running out of cups. I said, make them dirty. I said, just put take the sauce and put all over them. And I said, that's how the kids want to eat it. Now I was right. And, there were 40 vendors, and we were number 5 out of 40, Anthony.
Nice.
Wow. That's
great. That's huge.
Yeah. So we did okay, but,
okay.
So exactly.
Right.
I want to tell you something,
but
go ahead.
I was gonna say is like everyone's going there for the barbecue. So people are looking at the brisket, they're looking at the ribs, they're looking at the pulled pork, they're looking at all of that barbecue. People sometimes don't associate barbecue with fried chicken, you know. And so for you to come in fifth, that's amazing. That's really great.
That's exactly my thought pattern right there.
I don't know how you two esteemed professionals feel about it, but I know how us three feel about it. Is barbecue, it gets lumped in a lot to like pulled pork, brisket, and like smoked leg quarters a lot. But barbecue to me is sitting around any kind of hot heat source with friends and family and enjoying a meal with them, whether it be on propane, campfire with hot dogs on a wiener stick, you know what I mean? Just doing the whole thing. I mean, yeah, so that's how I view as barbecue. So I think fried chicken to me is definitely a day of barbecue. Yeah, so I mean, because it's all about the camaraderie of sharing it with your community, your local community. It's intimate.
Well,
you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just think when I think of barbecue, I think of a fancier term, alfresco meal. Okay, it's out eating outdoors and whatever the heat source is. You're sitting. It's a big gathering, a small gathering together, being outside and eating, and whether it's a wiener on a stick or it's a burger or whatever, and and I think that it doesn't necessarily it's been now equated to like pulled pork and big hind sex, all that kind of stuff, and I got mixed up in it. It's really funny, I when I did Top Chef Masters, I did really, really well. There was a lot of me in that's first when I first did TV. I mean, a lot of me, and I got this TV show, and then I thought, okay, I want to be like ready for it, and so I went on this huge I lost 120 pounds, and then I got this show called Craving Comfort. And it was through TLC, and I shot like 18 episodes, and the producers and the people and Discovery were like, there's something different about it. I'm like, what is it? They said, and basically they said to me at the table, I remember at my restaurant, we like the old art. I said, are you saying you like the old fat art? They said, yeah. And I'm like going, and I was like, and you know what? I just didn't want to that, and I was just so mad. And then what happened was
nothing screams TV like body shaming.
Okay, exactly. And then what they did was, and it goes back to saying, don't trust the skinny chef. So what happened was, to make up for that, they said, okay, we've got a show for you. It's called Barbecue Pit Masters. And then I said, I don't know shit about barbecue. She said, you don't have to. You're a chef. You're going to give a chef's perspective. So here I have Myron Nixon, who's like, oh my God, he is like
friend of show, 2-time. Love
Myron. There's, he's tough as shit. Okay. And then you had Warren, what's Warren's last name? Warren, the football player, and Warren Sapp.
Thank you, David.
And he didn't know shit about barbecue, but he's big enough. He looks like he eats lots of it. And then there was me, and we would have 8 or 9 of these barbecue pit masters. And it's funny is that Anthony, you don't realize that some of those people at that big smokeout, they knew me from that show, but I was always nice, and I was always like bitching at Myron, telling him, saying, Myron, you send their asses home, and you don't even taste their barbecue, and you're judging them on their sides. Because I'll be honest with you, what makes a great cookout, it's the sides. It's like really, like I saw a salad the other day. I'm thinking, okay, God, I want to make it. Have you seen this? It's on the internet. It's a corn salad, and it has corn, and it has chopped bell peppers. I mean, all that sounds really good, right? And then it has like some mayonnaise in it, and then it has like something crunchy in it. Then it has some mayonnaise and sour cream, and then and then they take and they fold in hot chili chips, Dorito chips. I know you're thinking, that sounds gross, but I think it sounds fucking delicious. Excuse me.
No, hey, I told you we are not FCC regulated.
I mean, I was going like, okay, that is as white trash as you can get. But I'm sorry.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry. I think it tastes damn good. I mean,
There
like,
we go. You heard it here first, folks.
but like, like I have been tempted to take me some, like, take me some hot chips. My kids like eat the hell out of those. So, and crush them up and use them as breading on some stuff, because like I said, it's taken me a while to kind of come around to this hot stuff. But at the, at the smokeout, we were doing sandwiches where we were dumping sauces on them, and it was hugely popular. But like I said, that's not something we do. And at Disney, we always just did the chicken, and we had the hot sauce on the side and everything. But we started doing like a hot chicken sandwich, and they blow out the door. So it's
it
just
is crazy. People want that nowadays. The hot chickens.
right. It's what's going to happen is they're all going to have stomach issues, and then they're going to blame it for the whole.
Yeah,
You
my
know-
son just smashed a giant-sized bag of taquitos last week, and it could not have been healthy. There's no.
I mean,
chance that was
I understand. I'm really good friends with all those guys that did the shows, where I'm trying to remember them. That was like they were eating all this wild, crazy food all over the world. You know what I mean? And it was
Andrew Zimmerman.
Andrew, and then this other two guys. One was it was like Chris, and then I forgot. It was like, but they were eating like all this wild stuff, and they had to stop shooting the show because it was affecting their digestion.
Right, you didn't grow up eating all that.
No. Because I have friends from parts of the world where they eat really spicy food, and I said, what doesn't that affect them? He said, yeah, they eventually had problems from it. And I'm thinking like, but yet people still eat it. I mean, it's I love spicy food, but I don't think you can eat it all the time. You know what I mean?
No, I love spicy food too, but
Anthony, he's obviously in Wisconsin. Or
Yeah.
this internet he's
They
got
got-
over here.
They pump
But no,
sunshine.
he's
in
actually a
every
little
bottle.
hothead down there. He said the spicier the better. He said he just had pepper X on a sandwich the other day.
Dude,
Oh my god.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
it's
tell them to try that Reaper popcorn.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Chef, we have a really good question from the crowd on fried chicken,
uh-huh.
and we were wanting to know if you would take a quick second to answer it here. There's no better
Okay.
person on this subject than you.
Uh-huh.
What is the number one tip to get a crispy fried chicken result?
Well, I've always just used Martha White self-rising flour, okay? But you can use that. But what I do is I would say to 2 cups of self-rising flour, that's all I use. I'd use either Martha White, or I would use King Arthur self-rising, okay? I use self-rising flour. What I would do is I would add 2 cups of that flour to a cup of cornstarch.
Cornstarch is a game changer, folks.
Right. And then
Yeah.
and then the other thing too that you'll find that that some people do is like, as much as people love buttermilk, it's better to buttermilk will make it kind of softer, so it's better just to take I make a brine. So I would do, I would do 4 cups of I'd do 4 cups of water to 2 cups of buttermilk. So it's very liquidy.
Right.
And then I salt it to you figure out how much salt you can actually take, but it's better if it's salted overnight. And then, or you can do a dry one too, and you can add hot sauce to it and stuff like that. But just make sure that you, and then some people take, they take a little bit of the flour that I told you about. I always pre-season that too, and I put onion powder, garlic powder, cayenne pepper, paprika, and depending on the make of the self-rising, because it does have salt in it, you need to judge the salt. But what some people do will take part of that and add water to it and make a wet batter with it, and they dip the chicken, they shake it off, dip the chicken in that, and then they put it in the dry and then fry it. And the other thing is to make sure that the oil, when we fry about 280 degrees. We don't do it. Reason why, if you fry it too high, it'll burn, and then it will be
Overcooked
still
the
not.
chicken.
It won't be cooked inside. Okay.
Do you believe in the club soda trick that people do
Oh,
on the internet?
Yeah, I think you could take the club soda and put it in the flour, like we're talking about, and do
Right.
that.
Freeze the
And
wet.
that's what a lot of that's what the I think like the Asians do that a lot too,
Okay.
and that's really popular. And I was just seeing something where they actually put put it in there. It was really good, but you know, but like the one I grew up with, it was just they used all purpose, but the reason why it was great and crunchy and delicious, I'll tell you this, the one I grew up on, one, it was fried in lard. Two, if you want really great tasting chicken, you need to buy a whole chicken and cut it up yourself into pieces.
Bingo.
And the chicken needs to be about 3 or 4 pounds, about that big, okay? Because when you get those packets of chicken, you get a leg this big and you get a leg this big, and it's got to be all consistent in terms of size. Okay. Now, if you don't want to deal with that kind of shit, you can just get chicken tenders and do it that way. And but most importantly is that that it should be all the same size. But most importantly, you want to brine it, and then. But the thing what I was going to tell you is by butchering your own chicken, what's important is that we dusted it with the flour, and we didn't put a lot of flour. The reason why, because there was so much skin on the chicken that skin renders to this wonderful, crunchy, almost like a chicharrone. Someone sent me a whole box of. Have you seen these chicken skins that are like potato chips you can buy? Yeah, and it's really good, but you can't. You try to find chicken with skin on it in the grocery store. It's not easy, particularly like a boneless chicken thigh is not gonna have skin on it. But anyway, that's what I would do.
Anthony, how much spice is nice? How much spice we sending? Oh no, he can't hear us.
I don't think so.
Oh no.
You dropped out. Everything's been going good, but maybe it's this Wisconsin Wi-Fi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear us? Anybody?
Yes, I can hear you. So, Tony, what was your question?
How much spice is nice? How much spice you send in it?
Oh, I mean, I love spicy. I love spicy chicken. Art is different. Art doesn't like spicy chicken at all. He believes in the true fried chicken. He does make a really nice hot sauce. But yeah, no, I can handle pretty hot levels. So bring it on. But that's what sets Art apart from this whole revolution of Nashville hot chicken and ghost peppers and the Carolina Reaper. Art is consistent. He hasn't tried to change his chicken because his chicken's amazing. His fried chicken is like phenomenal. He stands on his own. He's not trying to compete with a Nashville or a Haiti B's. It's amazing, So yeah, but I mean, I love spicy chicken. I love fried chicken. As long as it's good, it's brined well. It's got a great crunch to it. Like I want to bite into there. I want it juicy on the inside, and I want it crispy on the outside. And
I don't know,
I'm
guys.
simple.
I
That's
really
what I like.
want to try this chicken like yesterday. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I haven't lived until I've had Art's fried chicken.
Well, I remember when I was in California and I was at an event that Ludo, another kid I worked with on a show, and the first time I ever tasted that spicy. The first time I ever had the spicy chicken was not in Nashville. It was in L.A. And the guy a guy from L.A. A guy in L.A. had moved from Nashville to L.A. and opened this spicy chicken place in Chinatown there in L.A.
Wow,
And
what a combo!
anyway, it was very popular.
Smart
But I
move.
would say something. Hector and I, my chef of many years, we both tasted it, and I was like going, holy Jesus, how can you eat that shit? It was so damn hot. I'm like, and I mean, I remember, like, here I was just a little, me and my little white boy coming from the South, and I remember going to university, and I remember eating at my first restaurant that was like, was totally out of my solar system, and I went to my first Thai restaurant, and and I
Love Thai
remember,
Oh,
and I
boy.
love Thai
Oh,
food, and
my
and
heartburn is creeping up thinking about it.
but it was something that I had to learn to appreciate because Thai food can be downright real spicy too,
Very spicy.
Yeah,
Right.
that's on level 3 of 5. When they ask
Right.
you like 3, I'm like,
And then if you have some authentic Indian food, boy, it'll knock you out
Oh.
too. Or in the
yeah,
same
that
way with
curry, that curry paste is the real deal.
right. And and I never find like, most Mexican food is not too spicy for me. I mean, it's spicy, but it's not as spicy as, but it was just, I find like the Asian spicy much more spicier. So anyway,
Indian's the spiciest I've probably ever had.
oh my God, it'll light you up.
And the chef was like, really nice place. They're not there anymore, but we
Where was
asked them to
that?
make in Modesto, California. I live in the Central Valley over here, but we were like, make it as hot as you can, and no, it was it was bad. And he was just laughing. He's like, I could probably make it harder than that. Like, what?
Right.
Chef, okay, so here's a question, I have for you, and we'll let you get out of here. Last one here as Anthony's back in here, at least for me. Is there any kind of cuisine in your whole, like, you've done the barbecue, you've done, you've done the Southern, obviously. Is there, in all your world travels, is there any type of cuisine that you haven't mastered that you're very intrigued by? At your age, you've got to do a lot, you've got to experience a lot, you've got to meet a lot of executive chefs from around the world. Is there any
Right.
kind of cuisine out there that you're still, it's like it's on the bucket list still?
Well, I tell you what I've probably been the most intrigued with. Okay, so and I've eaten a lot of food. I mean, I've eaten reindeer in the Arctic Circle. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
all kinds of
Badass.
and warthog and on a safari in South Africa. I mean, I've done it
Let's
all.
go.
Okay, but anyway, I remember looking at my mother and saying, "Well, is this Pumbaa not agreeing with you?" I used to drag my mother all over the world. Well, anyway, last
awesome.
summer, I don't know if you've ever heard of this chef. His name is Francis Mallman. If you ever watched the show Chef's Table on Netflix. And anyway, I got myself invited to his private island in Patagonia.
Ooh.
You know how beautiful that place is?
They make
Only-
backpacks
only
about it,
close
so it's
to
got to be good.
Okay. Well, anyway, on this, it was 6 hours to the nearest city. And when you got to the lake, it was an hour by boat to the island. And the island was all self-contained, solar, and everything that he cooked was by fire. And
Oh.
and you're saying like stuff that I would like. I would, if I had my wishes, I would love to cook more by fire. I would love it to be
Hell yeah.
more like,
Let's go.
Welcome
like,
to the Dude Network, Art.
cook on fire, not with all, I'm tired of gas. I'm tired of electric. I just want fire. And I loved how rustic it was. And I love the flavors. I like last night. Anthony, have you been to Biti? Biti?
I have not.
It's a multi-course Lebanese restaurant. That's very good. The chef there is just really talented. And anyway, he had this amazing pita, and what was great about it was it had the bread. It's like pizza, like a great pizza to be really great needs a certain amount of char. And it had char on the pita, and it gave it that flavor that was just incredible. But getting back to the Patagonia, the food had this char on it, like he was throwing like vegetables in the fire and then burning them, and then he'd pull them out and then brush it all off, and then he would make something, and you still had this wonderful flavor. It's like, you know, they always say, don't eat char, but it, you know, it imparts a certain flavor. You know what I mean? And you cannot get that flavor on a gas grill. You cannot
Nope.
get it on electric. You know, it's just the caramelization. I remember, like, you know, eating the salad. This salad was like blew my mind. I'm like, I want to eat more like this. So he would take dough and roll it in his hands, and they would make circles, and they just throw it right on the fire, like the embers. And then they would do it, and then pull it back out, and then brush all
Caveman style.
brush all the ash off of it. But what he had done too, he'd taken these oranges and he threw the oranges in the fire, and they were completely black. And then he took all the char and everything off of them, and he sliced them really thin, and they were seedless, and they were so damn amazing. He made this kind of salad taco
Grilled fruit,
situation. Oh
yeah.
my God. And we
Grilled fruit is
sat
so
and
good.
ate it at this wonderful setting next to this glacial stream with this beautiful waterfall with it coming off the mountain and the snow, and oh my God, it was like,
Good grief.
And that was his Tuesday, folks.
Yeah.
that's what I want. I love
I-
I wanna
Anthony,
eat
you
more.
in?
I've got an idea for art. So
No.
Oh no, Wisconsin strikes again.
on the patio, live fire with Art Smith.
Yeah.
And the Dude
Baby Beer.
Network.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Had to
Yeah,
do
well,
it.
maybe
Had to do it.
if we get the right thing, that's fun. I agree with you. We would do that. It would make a great winter activity. Well, guys,
Chef,
it's been a
let's
lot
do
of
it.
fun.
Hey, get us a place to cook, and we'll come out and we'll do
Okay.
it. We'll
All
come
right.
out. Let's do it.
I'll bring
Get
the
a whole
big
hog
cross.
out there. John's
Okay.
got like
You're not-
cross. John's got the open
None of
fire
you-
cross. We'll spit one right out there out front.
Okay.
And none of you are staying at
Yeah,
my
on
house. That's it. You're not.
Come on, Anthony.
Yeah,
That's
Chef's
fair.
like, yeah.
totally
In the
fair.
back of his mind, he's like, there is zero chance these dudes touch anything in my kitchen.
Okay. All right.
That's also fair.
Um,
Chef, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us tonight.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
You
It's been
too.
a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
Chef.
Thank you, Anthony. Great to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
See you-
much, guys. Take care.
See you soon, Chef. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Anthony, stick around. All right, see you, Chef. All right,
Hey, look, I'm back.
you're back.
Right.
You're
You're all the way back.
Can we talk
I
about how
am.
ironic it was when we talked about doing a Dude Network barbecue takeover? He's like, I gotta go. Just,
You ruined it.
He was afraid you guys were coming over. That I get that. That's
would-
why.
yeah,
And
he's
then,
like,
and then once he realized you weren't staying at my house, he was like, I gotta go.
Yeah, because they're not staying at my damn house either. Mm-mm.
Negative. I would never do that. Never assume.
Hey, you like my hat? You like my hat? Look. Look
Za?
what it says.
ZA. What's ZA mean?
Yeah.
Za pizza.
Pizza.
Seriously?
Right? Not LA. Za. Yeah, is that cool?
Za. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of.
When I first saw it, I was like, really? He's
Saw-
got a Dodger hat? Oh, no, that's Saw. Yeah, let's
No.
go.
Za. Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah. See? Here on the Dude Network, I bring the cool, fashionable stuff. So,
You are.
and I'm
mean,
glad I
that's-
got these headphones are my daughter, and I'm gonna keep them because I look really cool on a podcast now. Look
Get
how
her a new
cool I
pair.
look.
You do.
Just get
You
her like
look
a pink
that's
pair.
pro. You look like a pro.
I do. So I loved Art was all like Christmas lights. What's going on? I'm like, I was like, my wife was like, oh, do the podcast out by the fire, and I'm like, the mosquitoes are gonna kill me if the fire goes down. You know. So
Hey, it's still mosquito season here in the Midwest. It's still very much mosquito season. You got to take that shit into consideration. That's a fact. That is a fact. So Anthony, since you're on, we got, the rest of our Friday night show here. We've had Chef Ben Britson on, multiple times now and he's become a good friend. And we've had Art Smith on. What do they bring to the Chicago food scene? I mean, because it seems like two very interesting dynamics. Like the tapas thing is awesome. Then you got fried chicken, and that just goes to show you Chicago is bringing in these world culture dishes into the Windy City. You know, what do they contribute to the food scene in your opinion?
You know, we were very blessed in Chicago that, Art was Oprah's, chef, and he brought her those comforts of the mac and cheese, the fried chicken, and Art became a celebrity chef from that point on, with Bravo Top Chef, his locations in Disney World, and I love seeing him on Navy Pier in Chicago. That's a great iconic place because it's one of the top tourist attractions. Art brings a special level of Southern comfort cuisine to the Chicago area, and he's just a really good guy. Like honestly, if he would give me the shirt off his back if I needed it, he really cares about people. Chef Ben, I just recently I recently just met him, but we've been friends and talking on the internet for a while. This guy is bringing Spanish tapas to the suburbs. Like his dishes and his flavors. When I have a meal, chefs will say, "Do you have any notes for me?" And I said, "I wish I had some notes. I really wish I could give you some constructive feedback. I know you haven't had his food, but his flavors and everything that he touches and he puts on a plate in front of you is just magical, and the food scene in Chicago is even so much bigger than these two gentlemen. It just keeps going on and on.
Right.
Art was talking about live fire, and no joke, I hope he heard me. I think on the patio at Navy Pier, he said for winter, and that's marketing, because winter's when it's slow. Winter's when it's slower. For me, I'm thinking summer. I want to see Art out there cooking on an open fire outside. But the winter makes sense to me from a marketing standpoint because, you want to draw people in when it's not as crowded. But live fire is huge in Chicago, which is funny because we've already burned down the city once. So now we're letting restaurants.
That's a fact. That did happen.
Yeah.
It can't happen twice. Can it happen twice? I hope not.
Guys,
I'm from. I associate with Cleveland.
Run.
Yes, it
Guys
definitely can happen twice.
We got a good run.
Right.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
We call ourselves the second. We could just be called the third city, right? The third city. Make it even better that time.
Hell yeah.
But like there are so many restaurants that are doing live fire. There's chefs like El Che. They just opened a second location under Brasero. But Chef John over there, if he's making oysters on an open fire, I'm in. I tell him, I go, you make the best oysters on an open fire.
Dude,
there's nothing like it.
Around, I don't know what, Damon, I don't know, up here, when you do a leg quarter on open fire, they call it fair chicken. Do you have fair chicken, Damon?
No, we just got leg quarters down here.
Yeah, up here, in Ohio, it's a lot of, around these communities, we have volunteer fire departments, and they have to do fundraisers every year. So they'll do a chicken sale where they do a bunch of leg quarters on the open fire, and you come in $15, you get a little scoop of beans, leg quarters, but it's basically just a leg quarter on open fire, charcoal, whatever, and it's just hammered with apple cider vinegar the whole time, and that's just, and it's got your chicken seasoning of choice. But it's open fire, and they do a shit ton of it, and it's called fair chicken. It's just cooked with apple cider vinegar the whole time. So,
about 6 years ago, I was hosting a culinary event, and I almost disqualified a chef because everyone had propane gas tanks, right? And I walk up to him, and he literally had built a fire with wood in the grill, and I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, I don't know how to cook on gas. I only know how to cook on wood." And I said, I thought about it for a second. I said, I was going to disqualify you. I'm just going to unplug your propane tank and remove it because I don't want an explosion. And I'm going to tell you, he won the competition. It was probably one of the best steaks I ever had in my life. And this guy, his name is Steven Sandoval. He's in Chicago. And Rick Bayless recruited him and brought him to Chicago because of his live fire cooking. And right now,
Rick
Steven has
Bayless.
his own restaurant.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, Rick recognized that talent, you know, and I once I bit into Steven's food, I knew why Rick brought him to Chicago, because it was just magical. Best steak I ever had. It was just amazing.
Man.
And it was on fire, live fire. And that's another thing too, is like people don't realize is like, so even at the World Food Championships last year, one of the new categories was live fire cooking. And it was fun to watch. Like I was as a judge, I was really enjoying it. And it was so popular that it's now a permanent category this coming
Gotta
November.
be. You
Yeah, it
gotta
has
be.
to be at this
Yeah.
point.
There's such an art form to managing a fire.
Mhm. Well, anything
That
can
capable
happen.
of being
Wind.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if there's like wind, you got to build like a cinder block wall to shield your fire from that wall. I mean,
Mhm.
you have to adjust on the fly, especially on a day like, you're in Chicago, for God's sake. Like swirling winds is like a day of weather. It's a rare day in other cities. Chicago, it's like it'll be swirling today, and everybody knows it's going to come from the north, south, east, and west, and then the northeast, west, and the southwest, east, like all of it.
Oh, you've seen some of my videos when I go to do my intro, like there's no wind, and the next thing you know, there's like a 25-mile-an-hour wind, and I look at my camera
Your
person.
goat's like this.
Yeah, so actually,
Yeah, but I'm like-
mapping the live, that would be a challenge.
I'm like,
there.
we have to wait till the
No.
wind dies down, because all you're hearing, that wind's blowing. I'm like, I can't do an
Oh,
intro when it's like swirling like that. Yeah.
That's right.
So it's a hard life. It's a hard life over here. It's hard.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Exactly. So, Tony, what are you drinking? That look like is that a Das Boot? You got the boot
It is
going
Das
already?
Boot. Hoffer House,
Yeah,
man.
I like it. So
Yeah, you missed the
Nah,
intro.
That's why
by-
we can't stay at Anthony or Art's house, Tony.
Probably.
there you go. Yeah.
But you know what though? They need to know. If you want us to come in, the boot's coming with me. This is the vibe we're sending when we come and take over a property right here.
No,
Especially in Chicago.
that
You know
kind
what
of
I like about
property-
Chicago? That you can just park your car in the garage and just drink and walk and ride in the Uber everywhere. I'm down for that.
Yeah. We call it to-go cups. Everyone's got a to-go cup.
Absolutely. Hey Anthony, you
I
ready
am
for us to
about
take
it.
over Chicago in the spring? You ready? You sure?
What's happening in the spring?
We're coming
You guys
out.
are coming? You
Yep.
got I like it. I'm in.
Yeah.
Just
But
don't-
not saying
Ben
it is
hooked
out
us up, and I feel like with you and the
Just
network we've grown,
Don't-
we can.
Don't call
we
me,
can have
I'll
a-
call you, right?
Yeah.
just let's not do it during spring break, because I'll be in Florida on the beach. So I'll get you those
We won't
dates.
come.
Just
Hey,
work
trust me,
it
we
out.
won't come on a week when you're not there. That's a fact. That is
There
a
you go.
fact.
I like that.
Yeah,
that.
I think it's time the dudes do Chicago. I mean, we've agreed. Damon, Johnsy, we're all in on this, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Chef Ben has agreed on camera to that if we do come out there and do barbecue, he'll incorporate our barbecue into his tapas menu for a weekend.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
We kinda
Here's
thought
something
it was-
cool about
Well,
so here's
thought it
something
was
cool about Chef Ben. There's a bar next door, right, to his restaurant. And so I walked through the restaurant. I had to go into the bar to use the bathroom because like there's a wall separating. And so the funny part was I came back and I go to Ben. I go, they only serve like alcohol over there. I'm like, you should be serving food. He goes, oh, they can order anything off the menu. But then I gave him the idea. I'm like, yeah, but tapas is really high end for an Irish bar. I'm like, you need to make a menu for them that has chicken wings, mozzarella sticks. He goes, oh, I could do that. It's really easy. Sliders. I'm like, make
no
like
problem.
five items that aren't tapas, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to sell a lot more. And he's like, oh, that's a great idea. So I'm the idea guy. I bring those ideas. But
man.
yeah, there's an Irish bar next door, so you guys will enjoy that.
Hate
for
to
sure.
hear that. Hate
Yeah,
to hear
Yeah.
that sounds terrible. I hate it already.
Yeah.
Tony's all like, I'm bringing my boot, just fill it up.
Mhm.
Yeah, just put it under, put some Killians in there. Like, yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
man, this is not going to be well.
Oof.
This is not going to age well.
Well,
Yeah, thanks, Dad, for finding those today. Again,
Oh,
thank you.
boy.
It was funny
And-
is I've been out. These survived the house fire,
Oh,
and basically it happened when I was like in college. So my dad just keeps going through the stuff like in the attic, like as he's like in the downsizing phase. So I get a call and he'll be like, "Hey, I got some stuff. Found a box of yours in the attic today." And I'll go out there and it'll be like a time capsule from my like high school years and college years. And today I got the boot, and I got the thing, and he's like, "Hey, these are yours, some big beer mugs or something." And I'm like, "I'll be out to get those. Thank you." I was like, "I've been missing those for about 10 years now." So we're back. We're back.
he's like, he's like, thanks, Cinderella. It's like the glass boot, right?
Oh, dude.
Cinderella.
Hey, you
over
rub
here.
this damn thing, you fill this thing up enough and rub it, any kind of princess will show up. I mean, even the lot lizards. Well, that's too
Oh,
much.
here we
We didn't need to go there. We did not. Nope.
Yeah.
I apologize. That
This
is
isn't
not.
Saturday, Tony.
Nope. Sorry,
I-
Damon. Damon's
I-
done.
No,
I
no,
love
no. I
when-
wasn't doing. I hit B like 40 times though.
Yeah, we were trigger fingering it over here.
That's why I hit the space bar and everything else popped up because I was just a tapping.
I love when Art Smith talked about eating a warthog. Like, I mean, he's a
Yeah.
Disney guy.
That's pretty cool.
And,
All I
like,
wanted-
and like Timon. Oh no.
Yeah.
Pumbaa.
Hey, Timon's got some
Dude.
fat content that renders down beautifully. That's all
Listen
I
to
know.
me.
Oh, Pumbaa.
I would bring my pig cross to cook a warthog on for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, if you don't think we're going to Chicago without that pig cross, you are nuts.
Bro, I can't fly
Absolutely
across
crazy.
country with that, dude. You know how heavy that thing is?
I thought you're not road tripping with Tony in the car.
Yeah, dude. I mean, well,
Tony's gonna. No, you're picking everybody up. You're just driving around.
I want to go to California to go back to Chicago. That's something
Yeah.
I would do. That is something
That's what I
that would make
thought.
an epic documentary.
Isn't that what he said, Anthony?
Yeah,
Is
he's
that
gonna
not
go
what he
to
said?
Cali, the Carolina, back all the way up to Chicago.
Yeah, I want to go get Damon first, and then Damon's going to ride with me to California, then back to Chicago.
There we go.
Tony won't even cross the border of Indiana and Illinois to come see me. He's too afraid.
Actually, it's not
He's
my
not-
territory, bro. I keep telling you, you're like a 3-hour detour one way. What do you want me to do here? And trust me, if I could justify a trip to come to Chicago and stay in a hotel to hang with you for 3 days, I mean work, I would have done it like 3 years ago.
Just
I've actually
Get
tried to expand. I literally tried to find an excuse to go to Chicago last year with the whole mentality of like, if I pull this off, I can hang out with Anthony for 2-3 days. I can take over his intros to his social media.
oh,
content.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. My wife might be mad about that. She's pretty
No, she's cool with me. Me and her, we'll talk it out.
Okay.
We'll talk it out. But I think it would be
So,
cool
You're still not
if
coming
I
over to
like,
the
if you're
house,
like,
No, yeah.
we're here at some place and you do your little dad joke, dad humor, and I like step in front of you and be like, let's let the good times roll, and it's a lobster roll place. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
something
there
funny.
you go.
Yeah, I'm the dad humor guy. I think there's an awesome collab opportunity. here.
Anthony, I'm sorry in advance. I'm
No,
sorry.
I am not. He is welcome
Thank
in
you.
advance. That's what's
Thank
happening
you.
right now. He is welcome. I am blessing him.
his
I am
views-
extending
the
the
views
olive
say-
branch to success, and to make him
Uh,
even a 3-time Chicago social media person of the year for bringing such talent like me, John Z, and Damon into the great state of Chicago.
Ah, I
I'll
love it.
stay out the video. I'm good.
Nah, Damon, you're going to be right there eating them smoking. Hey, Chicago ain't ready for smoking fried wings with gold sauce.
I mean, I'll cook that, but I mean, I'm not going to take over a man's
Anthony's
intro.
face like, wait, hold on.
Yeah,
I'm
Have
not
you
gonna
ever had a
take over
smoked
his
fried
intro.
wing, Anthony?
What was that?
Have you ever had a smoke a
What
fried
about the-
wing?
That's the only way to have wings is smoked and then deep fried. That's the way. First time I ever had it was in Iowa, and
What a random.
I was like, it was world famous for how they made them, and it's the best because you're getting that depth of the smoke, but then you're getting that crispiness when you deep fry it on the skin.
Yeah.
That's the only way to go.
He made them for us up at home opener last year at Burke Lakefront Airport in Cleveland for Brown's season opener. and I think everybody was ready to just buy him by the pound because
Yeah.
homeboy brought South Carolina to Cleveland that day. It went over well.
They weren't
It went
ready.
over really well.
And the problem,
I don't know.
problem is we had to smoke them on a gas grill. So
Mm.
yeah,
But you
And
didn't
I
ask the
don't.
woodchunk dinner.
yep.
But I don't.
Go ahead,
I don't
Anthony.
know. I don't know why more restaurants don't use that technique because the nice
I
thing about
agreed.
but think about it. So the one thing is you never want to serve raw chicken. So smoking it, it's cooked all the way through. You're flashing it in the deep fryer to get that crispiness on the skin. It's never going to be raw.
Nope.
It's safe.
Yeah.
It's food.
Okay,
And the flavor.
Yep.
Well, and think about like, okay, as a restaurant critic that to make suggestions to chefs to be more profitable, better economic flow, all of it. Wouldn't you want? How many more wings could you get if you only had to cook them for like 3 minutes compared to cooking them things raw until they're crispy? I mean, the time savings got to be like monumental, right? If you
Oh,
had
yeah.
like pre-smoked wings ready to deep fry at the start of the
Right,
show.
you just have a huge pit wherever you can, or however you can, whatever combination you can do at your spot. Bring them in. Order up. Order up.
Yeah,
Order
man.
up.
I mean,
While you're already putting more on the smoker to
Yep.
replace the ones you. It's like
It's a no-brainer.
I think
okay,
so.
we got to make this happen. We make this happen.
We solved the problem of chicken wings tonight.
We
Mhm.
did in Chicago, definitely in Chicago.
Well, and to the millions and millions of viewers.
Yeah. Well, if our viewers are not smoking frying wings by now,
Right, then
I don't know what to tell you.
what
We've been telling you for years. I mean, this isn't breaking news on the Dude Network. I mean, this is just
Yeah,
common
it is.
sense in the way of life at this point. You know, I mean, golly. But for those that
Speaking
don't,
of Windy City, Johnsy, do you got a fan in the back? How you getting that flag to move, or is someone up there waving it?
I
Yeah,
got
why not?
effects. Yeah, I got effects,
you get a
people.
sound effect.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a
He's
green
got-
screen.
I
It's
got
not
a
even, it's
fan
not even
on.
really his background.
Okay, I thought he had an intern up there. Like the guy's like, my arm is. Want to be in
Keep waving the flag.
He's
What?
like-
what? Want to be in television?
Hey, shout out to our intern.
Oh yeah,
Flag boy number 1.
Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah. Hey,
like-
number 2's off tonight. Hold it together.
Damon,
got
what
the
you
cargo.
got here, man?
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
man. Hey, it's good times, man, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything.
I was just bummed. I wanted to ask Art and let him talk about his philanthropy and his charities for a second. That
Yeah,
was the
that's-
one thing
yeah.
we didn't get to.
That's probably the one thing he didn't want to talk about because true heroes don't brag about their
True.
what they
No,
do for people.
no, I don't
But
mean it that
could
way.
have brought up. He
And
could have brought.
I
up
know what
Randy.
you mean. Like I'm just saying,
Right.
if there's one thing he was like, "Oh, thank God I didn't have to talk about it." Yeah, I know. Like we wanted it. Yeah, we should have done.
And
No, it's
but
important.
It is.
But here's the
No,
good thing
absolutely.
too is when I came on, I basically said this guy will he gives back so
Right.
much,
Right.
and and I think that's just the nice intro. Instead of him having to try to brag
Sure.
about what he
Right.
does, he doesn't need to because if you called him up with a cause, he would be there. That and that's just the type of guy he is, and I really cherish the last 2 years that we've gotten to be friends. Like my daughter's gotten to meet him and my wife, and he's just I really cherish the friendship that we've created,
Right.
more and and
well, I
it's
mean,
just,
and you meet a lot of chefs, a lot. Like, I mean, we've talked. You couldn't even go on a family vacation without. I mean, how cool though when you meet like the one, because you can't be friends with them all. But
yeah.
ones that of the caliber of just the history. I mean, how long has he been cooking now? like at that level so many years. He's been everywhere. You know, just how neat.
And not to disclose anything, a lot of chefs will invite me in sometimes to try dishes before they go on the menu. And we were at the Windy City Smokeout, and I don't want to disclose, Art was trying this new technique, and I was hanging out back with him and his chef Hector and his whole team. And I was like, okay, see you later. And he's like, Anthony, come back. I need you to try this. What do you think? And, you know, I'm trying something from Art, and I was 100% honest. And he looked at me and he agreed. And he said, thank you so much. And I said, I can't lie to you and say it's good. And I don't want to disclose what he was working on because it's proprietary stuff.
Yeah. We don't need, yeah. We know he's
But my daughter was with me, and my daughter afterwards was like, Dad, that was really cool. Like, Art valued your opinion so much that he wanted you to try this, and he wanted to hear what you said. And the thing is like, so many people, when they meet a celebrity or somebody, they'll be like, oh my gosh, that was so great. Right. Even if it's not great. Right. I'm not that guy. A friend of mine who was on Hell's Kitchen, he posted this croissant double smash burger, and I just sent him, and he goes, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, first we eat with our eyes. This looks disgusting. The croissant is burnt. The burger to croissant ratio, I'm going to be eating croissant and not getting burger. I said, it doesn't look good to me. I'm sure it tastes amazing, but it doesn't look good to me. And he said to me, he goes, you're the only person that wrote to me and said, this looks terrible. Everyone said, this looks amazing. Oh my gosh, it must be so amazing. And I said to him, I said, well, you know me. I'm not going to lie to you. I go, because that's not what I do. You know, my wife was like, I can't believe you did that. I go, yeah, but I'm always honest. You know,
I would rather, honesty to me is a breath of fresh air in today's day and age.
And I'm not cruel about it. When I offer criticism, I offer constructive criticism. Like, this is how I would fix it, you know? Right. And the thing is, I just don't say ill. Like, okay, there's something good there, but let's build upon it and fix the bad stuff, you know? Right. So I just I trust my gut. I trust my gut, even if I know it's going to hurt someone's feelings. I would rather have them hear it from me than the next 500 people that eat it at the restaurant.
True.
So,
right.
Okay.
Or people that went, oh, it's good, but they walked away secretly going, that was just, what was that?
What was that shit? Yeah. I mean, you guys have all eaten at a place like that. Everybody has. So,
yep. Yeah. Luckily not recently.
No, I'm just saying in your lifetime. That's so.
Oh, I've been disappointed.
If someone's reaching out asking for a real opinion from a professional, and you're just like, yeah, that's great. You know,
you're
being asked that for a reason, so might as well tell them the damn truth.
This happened to us at a dinner recently, and I'm not going to disclose it, but our dinner just stopped, and we didn't know why. And the reason it stopped was because I picked out some critical things in a dish, to the point where the waitress told the celebrity chef, and the celebrity chef said, stop everything, and remade our dish for us, because he made his chef make it, and he figured out there was something wrong. Like, he literally felt so bad, but again, valued my opinion, knew that I knew what I was talking about, and then made his chef make it, and then saw what the chef was doing.
Right, corrected a mistake. Nothing, no harm, nothing bad happened, but fixed it.
Yeah. Me and my wife are like this. We're like, this feels like Hell's Kitchen, where all of a sudden the dishes stopped coming out. We're like, what's going on? Did the kitchen get shut down? Everyone else was getting dishes, but we were just sitting there with cocktails, you know, which I'm not going to complain.
But yeah, never.
Why would you?
I knew something was happening because our dinner was so spaced out nicely for it to come to a screeching halt. I didn't know this was happening in the background till they sent out the brand new dish, you know? And of course the brand new dish was brilliant. It was amazing, you know? But I think that's why chefs bring me in, because they know I'm not just coming in to like create a video or help promote the restaurant. They know that I'm giving them feedback that
Right.
I want to make them bet. I want to make them better, you know, because like if they're not successful, then I'm not successful.
And this isn't just show and tell, folks. Go follow him. It's amazing all the places he goes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally it's a world vault of Chicago food from all around the world that ends up in Chicago. I know Anthony took care of me on my recent trip to Chicago, and he put me on the Rick Bayless tortas. I had some tortas, but
At the airport. He
yeah,
comes to the
what was
airport.
the name of the place? Shoot,
So it's called Tortas Frontera, and it's a Rick
Tortas
Bayless place.
Frontera.
And so tortas are basically a Mexican sandwich.
Right.
And so you know, before COVID, I literally was flying. I flew every day for like 26 years. So when I would go to O'Hare, that was my go-to. And Rick Bayless was the first person that literally, no joke, made airport food good again. And
Wow.
I don't even know if it was ever good to begin with. But he set that standard where people went, oh wait, airport food should be good. People are flying through.
Right.
boys, he told me to go check this place out, and I was like, wonder where it's at.
Had you ever
And
had
I
a
swear to
torta
God, like
before?
50 yards in front of me, going down like down the concourse, there's like this line at this one restaurant, and I go, how much you want to bet that's the damn place? I go up there and I'm like,
Yeah,
holy
that's it.
shit. I was like, I got a layover for an hour 10. I'm like, I ain't gonna make this sandwich. I'm like, but it's gotta be a good sandwich this long. They moved that line so damn fast, boys. Like I was like 20 minutes in, I had my sandwich and it was the bomb.
Had you ever had a
Anthony
torta
had
before?
tried to have me order a secret menu item, which they scoffed at profusely with the short rib tortas, but either way.
That was my favorite.
Have
It
you
just-
ever had a torta before?
Have you?
Yeah.
No, I never did until that
No.
day.
That's what I was asking. I was just
Yeah,
I didn't know
he
you
was
were
talking to you.
asking Damon or who,
I
but
live
I was
in
like,
California.
God,
The taco
that was
truck.
my.
You can
I
get
mean,
tortas at
we've had
taco
like
trucks.
pita. We've had like pita sandwiches, but I've never had a torta like that. That was a first time experience for me, which I loved.
Yeah, they're really good.
They were fantastic. There were so many options there that
And-
day. Yeah, I mean, you could get a different one every day and be good, except for the vegetarian. I ain't
Oh
doing
yeah.
that.
No one's got time for that.
Yeah, I mean,
Negative
look, I got
stuff.
carbs to get, brother. I mean, I work really hard for this body.
I-
I ain't trying to lose it.
I saw me and my wife were at a restaurant recently, and they had a sign on the wall, and they said, why are vegetarians always trying to make vegan food taste like meat? I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
That's
I have-
actually hilarious.
I have that question as well. I
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
question as well.
Yeah,
Why?
the Impossible Whopper, just eat a Whopper. I mean,
Make it impossible.
Look,
yeah, I mean, do the impossible thing. Like it. What do you
Yeah.
want me to tell you?
we ate meat
Uh,
for a long time. So.
Yeah. Well, Anthony, man, I know I spawned that on you there, dude. That was so cool that you were able to
Yeah.
hop on with us.
Recommend it.
Anytime you're able to join us, man, it's a real blessing. And you're
Wait,
natural on
there's-
camera on your. Hey,
Look at that's my
Hey!
daughter. That's my
Hey,
daughter.
he-
So
hey,
there she is.
congrats on losing your headphones.
Oh,
They're his
so
now.
congrats on losing the headphones. So
Oh.
they're mine now. They think I look
Yep,
cool.
they're
in the
his.
headphones.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yes. he
She's
does.
all, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Negative,
Little
Dad.
dudette.
No way.
She
All right, smoosh.
at,
till you get out of here.
at 17, she has such an amazing palate because she goes to all these great restaurants.
Right.
And like it's I feel sorry for her boyfriend. Like he's
Dude,
in so
yeah.
much trouble.
She ain't gonna go for some
Yeah.
no basic bitch. That's for sure.
No, there's gonna be no McDonald's in that relationship because we don't
No.
eat
Negative.
McDonald's. So
You ain't taking
Hey, are
me
you
for
cool with
fresh
Carl's Jr.
tortas.
tonight? She's all, get out.
no.
If it's not tortas or
She-
tapas, you're not worthy.
I will tell you though, she if the boy says In-N-Out Burger, she's in. She loves In-N-Out. So.
All right. There we go. That's Good stuff. Hey, Culver's Burger. I had
Well-
one this week, brother. Culver's is up there.
Culver's.
It's my new favorite fast food burger when I'm in Michigan.
Culver's is really, really amazing. Fantastic brand. That's kind of the only fast food I really eat. And
It's not really
it's
fast,
freshly.
though. Like, you still have to wait 10 minutes after you order because they make it
I
fresh.
do.
Yeah.
I interviewed Craig Culver and I used the word fast food. And he went, "What?" Like I was like, "Oh, sorry."
Out there.
So
Easy,
he did not like
easy.
he did not like a call to fast food. Craig, and I know you guys got to go. Craig Culver is an amazing man. Just sitting down and talking with him and having lunch with him, like that was a dream come true for me to sit with him in his restaurant, eat a butter burger with the man, and like he bought me lunch. Like no joke, we went to the counter and he pulled out a $50 bill. He paid. He's the founder.
I love it. That's
I had so much respect for him.
Exactly.
Respect.
Yeah.
He didn't say like put it on my tab. He was like, "Here you go," and I was like,
"You know who I am, right?"
Yeah. Hey, that general manager loved that appreciation that day. He's like, "Well, there goes that profit margin." Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah. But yeah, no, guys, thank you so much for having me on. I loved it. It was impromptu.
Yeah, no, dude,
and
thanks for coming on, man.
You're always welcome, brother. And seriously,
Always.
when we come out to Chicago,
Thank you.
if you're not in every one of our videos as our guide, we're going to be pissed at you and probably disown you and never invite you back ever again.
Oh, wait, you promise? Just kidding.
The son of this is why we don't bring him on very often.
We got receipts.
Oh,
The rudest
Listen.
person of all of Chicago. Ray Damon.
you know, as guys, if we don't tease each other, then we don't love each other.
Yeah, that just
Remember
means
that.
you like us. That means you like us. So
I love you guys. I love you.
I'm
guys.
getting in that bed with you and the wife. I need a place to stay when I get out there. John Z and Damon got the couches.
Again, these are the reasons we can't go to people's houses.
Yeah,
Tony.
and that's why Chef
Again.
got off when he did. I realized that after I said it. That's on me. That's on me.
When he started hearing sleeping arrangements, Chef Hartzman was like, "I'm out of here. I gotta go. I gotta go."
He's all these freaking hooligans. Absolutely not.
Yeah. No. Boop. He goes, "I can't believe I did this." But hey, Anthony.
Well, again, thank you for having me. I loved it.
No, man,
It was
appreciate
a
you,
fun
man.
time.
Thank you, man. All right, dudes and dudettes, we're gonna get out of here and record the Dudes After Dark after party for Saturday night 9:00 and another foodie show at 9:00 on Sunday. Always tune in. Don't know what the boys are gonna be up to. Do you guys know what you're doing on Sunday yet?
It's a bunch of surprises.
Oh,
Coming left, right, and center.
And then full circle.
yep. And from the bottom now
I
we're here.
love the teaser.
Yeah,
I love
you
the
got a
teaser.
little
That's
teaser.
good.
It's like the little appetizer without the scallops. You don't know what we're capable of yet. Got to tune in to find out. All right, everybody, be a friend, tell a friend, join the Dude Network, and